Hi, Kirsten Morley here, your certified emotion code and body code practitioner. I am now certified in the belief code, which is so exciting. So emotion code, body code, and belief code practitioner, which is, oh my gosh, I am so stoked. Okay, so the reason why I'm actually getting on, it's actually been a minute since I've been able to make any videos, long form videos on YouTube and other videos that I've been making for the last couple months because of our life situation. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. So today is just more of a life update, kind of like what's happening, what's new, and then I will be demonstrating the belief code. I was going to do it on somebody else, but I wanted to do it on myself just so you can kind of see that it is possible to do on yourself, which is really cool. But so just a quick life update. The reason why I haven't been able to be as active on any of my social media platforms is because of my husband and I are doing a few other businesses that has taken a lot more time and than I personally originally thought it would, but that's okay. So we've been a little bit more in survival mode and put things more on the back burner. I have been still working with a lot of clients, emotion code and body code, and now I'm going to be doing belief code, which is, oh, I'm like so obsessed with this stuff. But we are just trying to get everything done. Another little life update. I am currently 20 weeks pregnant, so I am due in May, which is super exciting. So I believe I'm heading into month number 5. I will be taking off time to bring our sweet little girl earthside, and I will let you know as far as like time frame and business hours that I will be taking clients, you know, up until she's born, and then also time after that when I'll just take a good window off. So if you are needing any emotion code, body code sessions, or belief code sessions, definitely get those done sooner than later. So let's get into it. The belief code was officially released November 14th, 2023 by obviously Dr. Bradley Nelson. He is the founder of the emotion code, body code, and now belief code. And there's more to it. I don't know everything as far as how it was designed. I know he did purchase the T3 therapy stuff, and he was able to incorporate and make it more digital, which is very helpful in this day and age, just because it just makes things way easier. And then with the certification, you do have up to 6 months to complete it. If you are interested in the belief code, you have to be emotion code and body code certified first in order to do that certification. The certification for all 3 of them took me about a month and a half, even for belief code, so it wasn't too bad. There are some people who are like, how do I get certified? I will leave a link below so that if you are interested in getting certified yourself, then you can. Or if you're brand new to the emotion code, then I would personally start with the emotion code. You are also welcome to try it out with me if you want to. I will leave all the links down below in the description box so that if you're interested, it is there. And then again, if you are brand new, you want to try it out with me, do an introductory session, or if you want to read the book, The Emotion Code by Dr. Bradley Nelson, you are more than welcome to. It's right there. It looks that color. You're also welcome to do that. Or if you just want to do the emotion code for yourself, you are also welcome to do that. Just read the book. It'll help you kind of figure it out there. But again, if you'd like to do the introductory session with me, it is linked down below. So the basic idea here of all of everything. So this video is technically more for people who are more familiar with the emotion code and body code and belief code. But the basic idea of how it's all structured is you have the emotion code, which is like the first level. It's you just release trapped emotions and you feel better, and that's pretty much the basic idea. The body code goes a little bit more deep into other like energies like pathogens, misalignments, nutrition and lifestyle, toxins, all the circuits and systems within inside of your body, so organs, glands, all of that. And then the energy section is personally my favorite. It goes more into like the emotional stuff, idea allergies, offensive energies, mental things. It's a whole thing. And we can definitely, I need to make a video about that, but that will be for another day. So first level is emotion code, body code, and then belief code, 3 levels. Okay. So let's get more into the belief code and how it works. So from the way that I see it, the belief code is way, 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 way more subconscious than I've ever seen with any program that I've ever done or whatever. Even like meditations, I feel like it's like getting into your limiting beliefs and like manually plucking them out and releasing them. It is so amazing. And like, I have no words. I have no words for how cool it is. And like the way that it's structured is so genius. I love it. Anyways, so that you understand, because I know some people are like, how does a session work? Like, what does it look like? So let's go over the structure of the session. So obviously you're going to pick a topic. You can only do one topic at a time. And that's with anything that you work on. But with this, you can only pick one topic at a time. And with that one topic, we'll go through everything. So you identify the type of belief system. So there are multiple layers of this belief system that we'll be identifying. So again, just identifying, and then we're going to identify and release any associated imbalances that have to do with that belief system. So this is like emotions. So going back into emotion code, body code imbalances. And then once that is all released, then we're going to go back in and release the beliefs. And then we are going to find any replacement beliefs for the beliefs that we just released. And then after that, we're going to be treating the subconscious gap. I know none of that probably made any sense, but once you kind of get into it and you understand how it works, then that is like the gist of it. And then occasionally with some clients that I know have a hard time processing, or I feel like their processing is a little bit more harsh, I like to do what is called like a balancing reset, where it's like we reset some chakras, like the energy centers and like the spirit, the energy the energy body, and a lot of other things that we'll kind of just go through, and it just gives you an energy makeover, I guess you could say. And by doing that, I feel like the processing has been way less harsh, I guess you could say. So now let's talk about why the belief code. So this is actually something that Dr. Bradley Nelson has not, like, they didn't lay this out, but it's something that I kind of like put together. And I've seen this cycle of what people are using. I've seen it in so many different other self-development programs. And so I'm going to give it a name. We're going to call it the cycle of life. Okay. So when you experience life, okay, your life is going through like this filter of beliefs, and then it goes into, let me just lay this out. So it starts out with when you experience life, it goes through this filter of beliefs. And then when the result of your beliefs, then determines your thoughts, which determine your emotions, which determine your actions. And then your consequences are created, and then it creates your reality. And then when you experience your reality, that reality is supposed to support those beliefs. And when it's different, then that's when you have like a lot of conflict within your beliefs and your reality. I hope this is making sense. Okay. So when you change your beliefs, your core identity, or the core of your beliefs, it actually changes your thoughts. So it creates new thoughts, and then it creates new emotions, and then it creates new actions, and then it creates new consequences, and then it creates a whole new reality, which is supposed to support that new belief. I hope this is making sense, because that is the only way I can explain it. So again, when you are getting rid of those negative beliefs and changing them, it's going to create a whole new cycle of life. It's going to like all the way up into your reality, which is supposed to support your belief system. So the core, so like when you actually get to the core identity, if you identify as like, I am bad, then that's going to create a whole new reality, which is going to connect and support that belief. Make sense? Again, with the same one, I am weak. So if your belief system, if you're the core identity of your belief system is I am weak, it's going to create a whole new reality stemming around I am weak. So then the negative experiences that you have, the negative reality that you have will support that, and you'll associate all of those beliefs, and literally brick by brick, it's going to create this huge structure of belief systems that feels like impossible to break through. So let's look at this like an analogy. Okay, so the way that we actually see the belief system as a whole is like a tree. Okay, so each section represents different levels of beliefs. So the leaves and branches are like negative programs, so that's like a level of beliefs. The trunk, the trunk of the tree is like limiting beliefs. The roots are the faulty core beliefs, and then the soil is like the faulty core identity. So sometimes if you have a really bad soil, it's going to create a really bad tree. So I'm just going to be using my iPad for the session. I'll kind of show you a little bit of what the belief code charts kind of look like and the basic idea of it, which I personally believe is super cool. But they actually categorize everything by chakras, which totally makes sense to me, which is amazing. But let's go ahead and get started with this. I'm going to share everything with you here. Okay, so this is the belief code chart, which is so cool. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. It starts out with divine, insight, communication, love. So they're just different sections. And all of the sections are, again, within the chakras. And so if you have, we'll go to divine. Let's go back. So I'm going to click on divine here, and it's sorted into different sections again here. So let's just say it has to do with your faith. And then you can, everything that this section is associated with, it has to do with your crown chakra. So this is like the spirit, divine, self-realization, wisdom, spirituality. And it's also connected to a gland, which is the pineal gland. And then the muscle connection is like the muscle of the eyes. And obviously with each of these within the section, so I think it's called a subsection, it goes into different portions of it. But go back into faith. And then the system connections is like the central nervous system. So a lot of the times if we go into a belief system, sometimes there's an actual like connection. So for example, like lower back pain, it probably has to do with the sacral chakra. I hope this is making sense. Okay. So that's like the basic idea of how it's all set up. So we'll just kind of go into it. Now I'm going to just show you the notes that I have, for the session. I think that's everything I had to say about everything. If I'm missing anything, I'm so sorry. If you have questions, please comment below, because I want to answer as many questions as possible. And if I get enough questions, I will be answering them in another video. So let's do this. I'm so excited. Okay, so you're sharing this one. Okay, so this is the belief code session that I will be doing. Obviously, this is a basic setup. So typically your name, your age, the date, and then gender. Here is what we're going to do. So the intention of this session for me, again, I feel like I have been in survival mode for a really long time, which has been really hard for the last like 4 or 5 months, just because of the new businesses that we've done. And then also just a lot of things that have happened, and the pregnancy and stuff like that. So my intention here, so this is the intention, the issue that we're going to be working on. The overall issue that I want to be doing is the overall intention that I have for this session is to increase my income. So whether that be with the businesses, with emotion code, body code, belief code stuff, or, whatever that looks like, even if that is like helping my husband increase his income. Obviously I can't make him increase his income, but you get the idea. So the intention, and then the rest of this is more of like kind of filler, and it's like the full intention of increasing income. Obviously it would be amazing to be a millionaire, but that's not what we're going for right this second. Right this second, I think it's more of like bringing in a bigger income would help me, because I'm feeling like I'm in survival mode, which is causing a lot of tiredness. There's just a lot of that. I feel like there's no time, maybe a little bit of lack of money. There's some things where I'm like, it would be nice to be able to pay for that right now. My debt is a little bit higher than I'd like it. Credit card debt. I would love to have the intention to be able to pay off all, if not some, of the debt that we have before our baby comes. Increase sales with our businesses. So not just emotion code, body code, and belief code, but also the other businesses that we are working on. So I guess the intention of that would be to, anything I touch, I want it to grow with the intention of it growing easily, manifest things that I want and need. I think the overall feeling that I would love to have is things just falling into place and working out, just to feel more relaxed, not so high strung, yell at my kids a little bit less, have more time with my kids and be able to focus on my kids a lot more. Just, the result that I'm looking for of having an increased income and having more time. So that is the gist of it. And I know a lot of people like to ask for a scale. So the scale, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do I rate this? I'm going to change it to a 7 now that I'm like actually speaking about it and talking about it. It's a lot. So the scale of 1 to 10, I would say 10 is the highest and 7 is probably where I'm at. So that is the gist of what this session is going to be about. The intention is set. So we are going to have a quick moment of silence, and then we'll get into the session. All right. So if you're watching this and you've never had an emotion code or body code session, then you may not fully understand how this all works. Again, if you need additional information about the emotion code and body code, I have a video that is linked on my page, my Light and Healing Kirsten Morley page. So if you're interested in watching that, that is going to be the best explanation I can give you. I'll actually have that linked here or down in the description below if you're interested. So let's get to it. So obviously I'm not allowed to teach how this all, like teach every bit of it, but I'm going to just demonstrate and go through this just so you can kind of get an idea of how it works. So my name is Kirsten. Yes. Okay. So the first thing that we are going to ask is there a belief system that has to do with this issue? So the issue, again, the intention is already set. So is there a belief system that is related to this issue or area of focus? Yes. Okay. So what type of belief system is this? Oh, this is exciting. Okay, so this is called a parallel. Oh my gosh, this is a lot. This is going to be fun. So this specific one is called a parallel belief system. So it's like 3 trees that is one. Okay. So this there's also like inherited stuff that can be in this. Sometimes it's inherited, sometimes it's not, but just, yes. Okay, so we're going to roll with this. So with this, the first negative program, so again, there's 4 different levels of this. So we're just going to ask, do I have a negative program that needs to be identified that has to do with this issue? Yes. So I wish I can show you both at the same time, but we're just going to roll with it. So right side, left side. So survival, which totally makes sense. So the section survival, I'm pretty sure I might be going down here into this section quite a bit because that's how I've been feeling, like in survival mode. So the victim section. Okay, so there is negative state. So there's a whole portion of negative statements. Okay, here we go. So this is where I went. So we went into the survival. and then we went into the victim, and then within this section, so this is like security, safety, support, survival. It has to do with your reproductive system, your skeletal systems, and then your psychological beliefs and stuff. So this is where we ended up. So what negative program is this? 5. So this section 5, and then it comes up with a whole bunch of different beliefs. So I don't even pay attention to the beliefs. I just muscle test the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this one says, I'll never get over it. And then we'll ask, do we need to know more about this? No. So again, we are not releasing this belief quite yet. So do I have another negative program that has to do with this issue? Yes. Survival, right side, left side. Victim again, going into the negative. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one says, I am trapped. This one says, I am trapped, which actually makes a lot of sense because there's a lot of things that I've been working on that I feel like I've been super stagnant at. And I feel like I haven't been able to make a lot of traction. So it kind of feels like I've been spinning my wheels, which is so exhausting. Like, come on, let's make some progress here. Okay, so the next thing, let's ask, do I have another negative program that has to do with this issue? Yes. Side, survival again. Right side, left side. Sabotage. Oh, okay. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4, 5, 6. This one says, I can't do this. So this one says, I can't do this. I have been feeling like it has been so hard for me to actually get the motivation to keep doing things because it's been so exhausting. But anyways, we'll go from there. So, all right. So the next thing that we're going to ask, do I have another negative program that needs to be identified that has to do with this issue? Yes. Side, right side, left side. Power, going into the power. Right side, left side. Comparison. I'm really good at that sometimes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this one, oh my gosh. Okay, so this one says wealthy people are selfish. So I've actually had sessions with this one, and I always felt like I resonated with this way too much because I felt like there were times when I grew up where I felt like, oh, wealthy people are selfish, like money is evil, like that type of mindset, which is not a good mindset to be in. So I'm so glad that this is coming up so that we can actually get rid of it, because I have wanted to get rid of this belief or this belief system for so long. Okay, let's ask, do I have another negative program? No. So we're going to start at the beginning. Do I have a limiting belief? The next section here is just limiting beliefs. So again, just another level. Do I have another limiting belief that needs to be identified that has to do with this issue? Yes. Survival. Okay, so this is worth. Again, this has to do with security, safety, support, all of that. So negative statements, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one says, I am worthless. Woo, that's not, that is not fun. So do we need to know more anything about this? No, so we'll go back. Do I have another limiting belief that needs to be identified that has to do with this issue? Yes. Survival again, worth. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. This one says it is selfish to put my, to put my needs first. Oh, okay, I'm not going to go into depth about this one, but I do have to say, when it comes to certain religions or belief systems, there are so many people that believe that, especially religiously, like it is awful to put your needs before other people's needs, because for whatever reason, it's better to do that, to give up your life for somebody else. But I see this as just the opposite, where if you are able to take care of yourself, then you are actually going to be able to pour into other people way more than if you did not have your cup filled. So there's that. Do we need to know more? Okay. Do I have another limiting belief? All right. Now we're going to go into the faulty core belief. So this is like the roots. Do I have another belief that we can identify that has to do with this issue? Yes. Safety. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this one says, I can't prevent bad things from happening, which is a control thing. Also, like, I feel like that actually makes so much sense, because I feel like I don't have control over certain things that are happening in our businesses, and it's causing a lot of not anxiety, but like causing a lot of stress. So, all right. Do I have another faulty core belief, faulty core identity? Okay, so faulty core identity. So this is like the soil of it all. Do I have a faulty core identity that needs to be identified that has to do with this issue? Yes, right side, left side. Communication, right side, left side. Expression. 3. This is making so much sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this one says, if I say anything, they will mock me. Okay, so number 6 right here, which this makes so much sense, because there have been videos that I've been wanting to do on social media that I just haven't, and it's been so exhausting not being able to like actually work and get into my creative mood and just like make things happen, so this is making so much sense. Okay, so that is all for that tree. So again, we have 3 trees to work on today. It's called a parallel belief system. So now we're going to start up at the leaves again on the second tree. So we'll ask, do I have another negative program that has to do with this issue? Yes. Left side. Communication, expression. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one says, nobody sees me. Oh, going back to childhood here. All right. Do I have another negative program that needs to be identified that has to do with this issue? Yes. Side, power, effort. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one says, work is miserable. We're just going to bypass that one. There's just been I'm not going to go into detail about this, but other businesses have been really hard. Anyways, not emotion code, body code. I am obsessed with this stuff, but anyways, do I have another negative program that needs to be identified that has to do with this issue? All right, so there's only 2 there. Let's ask, do I have a limiting belief that needs to be identified that has to do with this issue? Yes, explosive energies, survival, sabotage. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. This one is, again, I can't do this. Sometimes there's multiple of the same one, but they're not always the same. I hope that makes sense. All right, so do I have another limiting belief that needs to be identified that has to do with this issue? Right side, left side. Divine forgiveness. That's something I've been needing to work on. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one says, they don't deserve to be forgiven. There's actually grudges that I've held for a really long time, and we're just gonna we're just gonna go with that one. Okay, do I have another limiting belief that needs to be identified? No. So now we're gonna go into faulty core belief. So this is the root. Do I have a faulty core belief that needs to be identified that has to do with this issue? Yes. Communication, ego. Oh boy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one says, I don't want to share. I know what this one's about. We're gonna go on. What is the biggest, or do I have a faulty core identity that needs to be identified that has to do with this issue? Yes, right side, left side. Right side, left side. Power. Right side, left side. Comparison. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one says, why are they always comparing me to him? That is a really interesting. Okay, sorry, we're getting a little deep here, but like I have felt like this for a really long time where I feel like there are people in my life that I feel like they are comparing me to another person. And it is so exhausting because it's almost like I feel like I have to live up to not only that person's expectations, but also it's like them forcing me to compare myself to somebody else. Does that make sense? Anyways, we're going to move on. Do I have another faulty core identity? No. Okay, so now we're going to go into the third tree here. So we've identified all of the beliefs within the first tree, the second tree, and now we're going into the third tree because this specific belief system is called a parallel belief system. So do I have a negative program that needs to be identified that has to do with this issue? Yes, right side, left side. Power, growth. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. This one says, I never improve. That one sounds familiar. Do we need to know more? Okay, do I have another negative program that we need to identify that has to do with this issue? Right side, left side. Communication, authority. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one says, I can't accept feedback or correction. I have always had a hard time being told what to do because it's like, I don't know if this is like an ego thing but it's like I just have a hard time accepting feedback or correction unless I ask for it. But even then I'm still like, anyways, do we need to know more? Okay. Do I have another a negative program that needs to be identified that has to do with this issue? Yes, right. So left side. Survival. Sabotage. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one says I give up. Do we need to know more? Okay. Do I have another negative program that needs to be identified that has to do with this issue? No. Okay, we're gonna move on to the limiting belief. Do I have a limiting belief that needs to be identified that has to do with this issue? Yes. Communication, awareness. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. This one says, I am unable to take care of myself. That one really resonates in very specific areas of my life right now, which is really actually hard for me to like express, but at the same time, like I totally understand that. So anyways, moving on. Do I have another limiting belief that needs to be identified that has to do with this issue? Yes, right side, left side. Survival, right side, left side. Codependency. 3, 1, oops, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one says I have to put others first. We need to know more. Okay, do I have another limiting belief that needs to be identified? All right, do I have a faulty core belief that needs to be identified? has to do with this issue. Yes, right side, left side. Power, growth, 2, oops, 1. This one says, I can't grow up. I don't fully understand this one. It's not really necessarily resonating with me much, but we'll roll with it. Do I have another faulty core belief? No. Do I have a faulty core identity that has to do with this issue? Yes, right side, left side. Power, right side, left side. Expectation. Ooh. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Life is hard. That is okay. So let's talk about this. I'm going to go back over here so that you guys can see my notes here because it is so fascinating. Let's talk about this for a second because it needs to be talked about. So the belief systems here, this is so fascinating. Let me see if I can get all of this in here. Okay, so all of the core identities have all made sense to me. So this is a core identity, this is a core identity, and this is a core identity. So if I say anything, they will mock me, which is like the root, the very soil of everything. And then why are they always comparing me to him? Again, that has to do with social media and other people in my life. And then the last one is life is hard. It's almost like just combining all 3 of those identities, it makes so much sense why I have felt so stuck with increasing income and just all of the businesses and just everything that's been happening in my life. So this is so exciting. Okay, so let's get rid of those. Okay. So let's ask, do I need to identify anything, any other beliefs or belief systems? No. The next thing is associated imbalances. So, okay, so this is emotion code. So again, emotion code, body code, belief code, which is really, really cool. But so we're going to start with emotion code here. Do I have an emotion release now that has to do with this belief system? Yes, maybe even 5. Terror. Do we need to know more? Okay, so we're just gonna release that. The cool, interesting thing about this is that they've said that you don't need to do ages with this because it's not necessarily a linear thing. It's more of a it's more of like your life as a whole. Does that make sense? So, all right, the next one, do I have an emotion release that has to do with this belief system? Maybe even 2, 4, 6. Shock. Let's go ahead and release that. Did we correct that? Do I have another emotion release now that has to do with this belief system? Maybe even 5. Fear. Do we need to know more? Okay, so an interesting thing about these so far, it's like terrified, shock. Like there's been a lot of stuff that's happened in the last 4 months, 5 months that it's crazy. Fear of success, fear of failure, just, fear of like what could happen. Like so fascinating. Okay, do we release that? Yes. Do I have another emotion release now that has to do with this belief system? Maybe even 2, 4, 6. Another shock. Let's go ahead and release that. Whew. So this is the part where you start releasing a lot of these. We haven't released any beliefs yet, but so fascinating. What is the biggest emotion release now that has to do with this belief system? Okay, even 1, okay, even 5. Peeved. Do we need to know more? Okay, let's go ahead and release that. Can we correct that? What's the biggest emotion release now that has to do with this belief system? Okay, now let's ask. So now we're going to go into the body code and make sure there's nothing else there. What is the biggest Do I have an imbalance with release? Now that has to do with this belief system. Toxins, all right, right side, left side, drug toxicities, right side, pharmaceutical, so medication toxicity. Oh my gosh, I think I know what this could have been. I have taken medication prior. Obviously, people randomly take medications, but this definitely feels like the I used to take Adderall back in like middle school, high school, and it was like one of the hardest things. And I also made it let me start over. It made me feel like it affected a lot of my social life, which in turn makes me feel like it also has to do with like working with people and the whole business. Anyways, that there's just correlations there and associations there that just makes sense to me. So, medication toxicity. Do we need to know more about this? Okay, do we need to know which one it is? No. Okay, so we're just again hold the intention to release the energy of this toxin, medication toxicity from the body, while at the same time directing the body to remove the toxin through its normal eliminating channels. All right, did we correct that? Yes. Do I have another imbalance with release now that has to do with this belief system? All right, so they say that sometimes it's just a few, sometimes it's quite a few. It just depends on, the person. But now we're going to go back over to, okay, so here are all of the beliefs that we have identified. Now we're going to go in and release them all. So I'll never get over it. Did we correct that? Yes. I am trapped. Did we release that? Yes. Now we're going to ask, so I can't do this. Release that. Did we release that? Yes. Release wealthy people are selfish. Okay, did we release that? Release I am worthless. Did we release that? Yes. Release it is selfish to put my needs first. I didn't finish that sentence. Did we release that? Yes. Release I can't prevent bad things from happening. Did we correct that? Yes. And then release this. If I say anything, they will mock me. Let's go ahead and release that, which is so interesting because I have gotten so much hate on the internet for some things that I've gone viral, multiple times, and it's really fascinating to see the amount of hate that you can get. And so, like, honestly, that core identity, if I say anything, they will mock me. That is something that has occurred multiple times over the course of my life, which obviously if there's been multiple instances, then it becomes more of your identity of, like this is the reality. But anyways, yeah, so glad we released that. Yes. Okay, so can we release this one? Nobody sees me. Yes. Okay, let's go ahead and release that. That one I can actually feel being released within my my gut and my throat area, which is really good. Did we release that? Because I've again had issues with feeling I've been seen. All right, so then release this work is miserable. Ooh, getting down to the deep core stuff. I love it. Okay, release I can't do this. Did we correct that? Yes. Release they don't deserve to be forgiven. Did we correct that? Yes. Release I don't want to share. Did we correct that? And then release why are they always comparing him to me to him? Did we correct that? Yes. All right. So let's go ahead and release I never improve. So we just released the first two trees. Now we're on to the third tree. I can't accept feedback or correction. it's interesting with this one. It's because, or sorry, let me start over. This one is interesting to me because, again, this one is more of like something that has happened a lot in my life. And I've always had a hard time because there are some people who do not deliver feedback or correction in a very nice way. And I think sometimes the tone of voice, or it's just, there's so much, I guess you could consider it like a trigger with that one. Okay, so the next one is I give up. That one's also a big one because I shut down. I shut down sometimes with certain things like that. But anyways, I am unable to take care of myself. I'm not going to go into detail because this is very personal to me, but again, I feel like it's kind of like that same thing of like just having a hard time with certain things in my life. That's just hard. So did we correct that? Yes. Release. I have to put others first. It was something that I always felt like I had to do in order to survive, which was not a good place to be at for me. But I can't grow up. Ooh, I understand this one now. So this one actually feels like to me like, oh, that makes so much sense. Okay, let's get into it. So this specific belief is kind of like that feeling of like other people's perspective of my life and who I am. They see it as like I am still a kid. Does that make sense? It's kind of like, you know, I have grown so much as a person, but other people's expectations of me is still in this space, not this space, like this healed space. So I hope that makes sense. All right, did we release that? Okay, yes. So, and then we'll also release life is hard. Now we're going to ask, does my subconscious want a replacement belief for any part of this belief system? Yes. So we are going to identify, again, kind of some different belief systems. Is there a specific, any part of this belief system? Yes. Okay. So we'll get specific here. So, what belief system is this? Let's move that over there. Okay. Or what belief is this? Right side, left side. Power, growth. So power, growth, and then with this comes positive statements that you can replace, which is really cool. And I don't know if you know this, but like, for example, the exact one, the negative one, they have a positive one that is just the opposite. So I resolve my weakness, or sorry, my resolve is weak, and then replace it with I reward myself when I succeed. So I asked specifically what my body needs, and it just wants like not the exact opposite of those, but just ones that my body is looking for. Does that make sense? So, okay, so let's ask what positive one does my body want? 6. This one says, my life's challenges are blessings. That is kind of my life's challenges are blessings. So it's almost like changing the intention of like, oh my gosh, like everything that I have in my life is just too hard. It's more of like seeing life as like life's challenges as like a stepping stone to like the next part of my life. Anyways, I think that's how I say it. But so now we're going to hold the intention to install this empowering core identity of my life's challenges are blessings. Did we correct that? Yes. Okay. Now we're going to ask, do I have an empowering core belief that I need to install? Yes. Okay. Side survival, which is good. side victim. I was in this section quite a bit, so we'll see what comes of it. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This one says, oh, okay. So I live more fully due to the wisdom I gained through my experiences. Very fascinating. Very, very fascinating. Okay. Let's go ahead and install that one. Did you correct that? Yes. Okay. So, or install it. Yes. Do I have a strengthening belief that we need to install? Yes. You know what's so funny? I can already feel like the shifting in my body. Like it's like I'm getting very hot and this is very, very interesting. Okay. So do I have a strengthening belief that my body needs to install? Yes, right side, left side, power, side ability. Oops, 1, 2, 3, 4. This one says, I do what I love because it's my joy. I love this one. Okay, so I'm gonna set the intention here with this belief is it's kind of like anything I do, I'm doing because I love it and it brings me joy. So I do what I love because it's my joy. So go ahead and install that. Ooh, I also like the intention of like things falling into place and working out for me. So it's almost like knowing that the universe or God or the divine has my back, and I know that things are going to fall into place and work out for me so that I can do what I love because it's my joy. Install all of that. The universe has my back. I love that. Okay, next one is going to be a positive program. So do I have a positive program that needs to be installed? Yes, right side, left side. Side communication, right side, left side. Expression, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one says, I express my views clearly and I don't know what that word means. Succinctly. We're gonna have to do a Google search on this. Oh, it says in brief and clearly expressed manner. I absolutely love that. Okay, so just clearly and in a nice manner. So we're gonna go ahead and install that. Did we correct that or install that? Yes. Oh, I love this. Okay, so do I have any other beliefs that need to be installed? Yes. So we'll just write them down here. Is it a positive program? Right side, left side. Survival. Worth. I love working on worth. It's so fun. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Oh, I love this. Okay, I am needed and appreciated. You need to know more. We're just going to take that as it is. I am needed and appreciated. Not in like a needy way, but it's more of like, I feel like I have purpose here on earth. So, I love that. Okay, do I have another belief that needs to be installed? No. Okay, so just those 5 beliefs. So a lot of the times with these 5 beliefs, you can actually use them as affirmations. So I hope that's one thing that out of like the sessions, if you end up needing replacement beliefs, that you can actually take these beliefs and, post them on sticky notes or and put them on in the mirror of your wall. That didn't make sense. Put them on your mirror or, whatever that looks like for you. So let's see. So the next thing is, do I need to treat? So we're going to treat the subconscious gap. So let's give you an analogy here. So let's just say we have like this bookshelf full of books, and we just took out all of these books from the bookshelf, and now there's like holes. So the intention is to push all of those books together, and that's like treating the subconscious gap with it. So we're just gonna energetically correct or treat the subconscious gap. It's like the best way I can explain it. And then, do I need a balancing reset? Okay, so we're good there. So, that is pretty much a belief code session. So let's check back in with myself, when it comes to the income or the like increasing income. As of right now, obviously, I won't know how it's going to feel, or I don't know how it's going to help, going from, now until the next couple of days. But as far as everything, I kind of feel better, and I feel like a little bit less blocked with social media marketing. And so we'll just put it at a 6. So we started at a 7. We'll put it at a 6. That way, because I do feel shifting and a little bit of changing, and it's almost like a perspective change, which is really good for me. But yeah, I'm excited to see how this works. So again, if you would like to book a session with me, I am taking new clients if you're interested. But just know I'm not going to be doing a belief code session the first time. It's going to be an emotion code, maybe a body code session. Typically, when it comes to belief code, and this is just, disclaimer, typically the best time to work on belief code is after you've released your heart wall and after you've done, a handful of sessions with emotion code or body code. And this is where it's just like, I have one issue I need to work on, and then we can kind of go into it as far as that goes. But that's the disclaimer there. So again, let's release your heart wall first. You can go watch the video for that. I'll put that in the description below. And we'll do a few other sessions as far as, things go. And then when it comes to the results of belief code, I feel like it's more of like a long-term game, and just kind of testing out the waters and see how things work, see how you react, diving into your reality, testing out the beliefs, and then going through the thoughts and the emotions and everything else like that, getting into your reality and seeing how it can support your new beliefs. So that is it. Thank you so much for watching this entire thing. It has really been a pleasure to be a part of your healing journey. And again, if you have any questions, please post them below. Even if it's like there are no stupid questions. Please be nice. If you have any criticism for me or whatever, let's just be nice to each other. And if you're interested to know more, let me know. You're welcome to email me with any other questions you have. Everything's posted below. So thank you so much. And I hope you have a fabulous day. Happy healing. Bye.